Hello, and how's everybody doing? Today I am going to show you how to get into the ambiotex stress test feature. So at the bottom of our home screen here, once you've gotten into the app, you go into the center icon, which is a stopwatch. That's where Start New Activities is. And then if this is the first time that you've opened your app, there's a couple other videos about the performance test feature. You should check one of those out. I explain that top right plus sign here that you see is a way to create the custom activities. It's pretty simple, and that's what you see here. But you will have outdoor activities, indoor activities, and then tests. Once you turn the app on and get it open for the first time, those tests are where our attention is right now, and at the bottom is a stress test. The stress test is going to be our focus of topic right now, but again, we've talked about the anaerobic threshold test that can be done on a treadmill or a cycle in different videos. So please go watch those, as they are important to that functionality. Right now though, the stress test. I don't have an internet connection right now, and that's alright, because I'm not actually going to do the test, but when you do it, you'll need to have the internet so that you can send the results of the test off. They come back to your smartphone automatically, so you don't have to wait for it. It's an automatic feature. So the stress test will determine your current stress level. It takes 5 minutes and 35 seconds, and what this is actually doing is measuring the beat-to-beat intervals of your heart. There's a lot of complicated science. It's really cool, and can tell you how much stress lives in your body. And it does this by measuring the parasympathetic and sympathetic branches of your nervous systems and their dominance ratios, as well as their activation levels. And so all that really means to say that you sit here for 5.5 minutes quietly with this shirt on, and it can tell whether or not there's real stress that lives in your body. And this, as often this happens, and you can't tell whether it's there or not. So it's good to have an objective measure of the stress in your body. So with heart rate variability tests like this, it is most valuable when you can take it and get a clear view into what's really residual in your body versus what might be happening in your life. So it's important to try and do this around the same time every morning is a good idea. Before you've had a meal, which is stress. Your body's working on doing something, digesting your food. That's stress. And then, or like maybe if you wake up and wait till a little bit later in the day, you've been on the phone and you're worried about maybe bills, and you've been in an argument or something. Those are all stresses from the day that would give, a reading of stress that might not be residual and staying in your system. So if you wake up in the morning, kind of just get yourself awake and go and take the test every day, it's going to be a real clear view on what kind of stress is actually accumulated in your body. And therefore later, if you started a hard training program or something and you saw the trend of those daily stress tests begin to drop off due to some really hard training, you would be able to have an objective way to tell whether or not you needed to train hard that day, or if you needed some more recovery. And so in this way it can really help guide you. But the value of that is having a trend and being able to tell that trend from the same circumstances every day. So the easiest way to do that is just kind of one of the first things you do in the morning is take the stress test. Alright, so you will just be finding a position you want to sit up is easiest. If you lay down, it's easy to fall asleep or not breathe enough, and then you but don't meditate. This isn't a meditation either. I practice transcendental meditation, and when I actually meditated during these tests, the values couldn't be read accurately because I was not breathing enough. And so when you're ready, you just press OK, I'm ready, and you have your shirt on and connected, and then it will give you a 5-minute
start the test as soon as you are ready.
Tells you to start the test as soon as you're ready, and then as soon as you
Test started. Please relax during the next 5 minutes and 35 seconds.
It tells you the test started. Please relax during the next 5 minutes and 35 seconds. And once you're done, it just says test is finished, and it doesn't take too long, but you get your results back maybe in about 5 minutes or so. And then results from all tracked activities and tests always go to the bottom here and to the left. So at the bottom of the screen, left of the screen, there is a clipboard icon, and that clipboard icon is your tracked activities screen. So it's your personal history, and you just scroll down and you can see it all there. It's been a while since I've done a stress test. Here's one. And here's what the stress test report will look like. So it gives you a bunch of data about your heart rate variability parameters, and it gives you a picture as well as a point care plot. Now, there's another version of this you can see if you go into the web-based dashboard, and I'll show you that in a different video. But this is what gets delivered to your test, and if you look there at the top in the middle, there's a little blue dot. I can't zoom on it, but that little blue dot is where I was actually residing right then. So my stress was in the deep dark green there, which is good. And so this picture I will explain more in other videos, but just basically at the bottom, if you go to the bottom of this picture, if the dot was further to the bottom, that would be like I was more awake and stimulated. And if it's to the left, I am in parasympathetic dominance more, and if it is to the right, I am in sympathetic dominance more. And these are age-corrected regulation ability is kind of the up and down is what they call it. But so there's more explanation to be had about what those mean, but this is where you will find the data from the stress test, and then in the next videos I'll explain the web-based dashboard and how to get those. An important point here to point out though is that you can always export this data however you like. So you can send it in a message, you can send it in an email, you can save it to your files, it's your data. Okay, hope that helped, and I'll see you in the next video.